What is up, gents? What do we got going on here? Cool. So, what's up, gents? It's Sunday morning. A lot of people have already talked about the Death Guard Codex. I wanted to do a live stream. Just had family wedding over the weekend, so it was really busy. I was kind of hungover yesterday. It was a Friday wedding, so we were hungover yesterday. My dad came up, so we were hanging out with him. But yeah, so this is the part 2 of the video. Part 1, which we went over the new detachments and the new strats. This one we're going to be going over all of the new data sheets. So a lot of them are kind of similar, but there's some standouts that I want to go over with you guys. So we're going to start off right at the top. We're going to start with the big ol' Mortarion. Mortarion is kind of insane now, so we're just going to start it off strong. We're going to start it off with literally the Primarch of Death Guard. We're going to go over kind of tips, tactics, ideas that I've been playing around with in my head to kind of give you guys a little bit more than just reading off the data sheets. So we'll go over like, all right, this could be comboed with this could be good with that, maybe this detachment, stuff like that. So going over the detachments, last time we did rank some of the detachments as like the best of the 3 detachments. I still like Flyblown Host. I think Flyblown Host is really good, especially with the new rules. So combining Flyblown Host with all the stuff, we actually played Flyblown Host. I actually recorded a video on TTS. You guys can go watch that out on patreon.com. And was using Mortarion in Flyblown Host, which was a really good combo. He doesn't really benefit from the stealth, but everything else around him does. And I was walking him with a 10-man Plague Marine unit that nobody wanted to shoot or get near, so that was a really good combination. So I found out that Mortarion comboed with another unit next to him most of the entire game is going to be really good to hold down a point and deter your opponent from coming anywhere near them. So all right, what changed from last time to this time? I was looking at the last data sheet and I was shocked because nobody's really talking about the OC6 on Mortarion, but little to us knowing, he was actually OC6 last time. What's up, Scott? So I guess I just didn't notice, but OC6 is kind of insane on one model. That means they need 6 little dudes just to tie Mortarion on the point. You need 2 big ass tanks to tie him, so it's going to be super annoying when you camp him on a point to either make it sticky if you're playing the main objective or just to be super annoying. But OC6 is legit. I think all the Primarchs are leadership 5, so that's good. Same amount of wounds, 2 up, 4 up, toughness 12, 10 wounds, so everything basically stayed the same. He still has a 5 up field of pain, so still really tanky. He's got the new thing, which if you guys look at his range weapons, 24 inches to 18 is a huge buff. Like going from 18 inches with his pistol and his Rotwind and then going an extra 6 inches is honestly really good in games. So when you're playing this guy and you can just camp him on a point and then shoot 24 inches away without putting him in danger, that's really good. And then you kind of twist him so that way his wings peek around a corner, that way you barely see something. That's really good. I love how he has some serious damage. Yeah, so we're getting into that, but I mean, shooting 24 inches and then having an insane melee weapon is nuts. So he's got I think it's all the same. So D3 plus or D6 plus 3 blast, devastating wounds, lethal hits. Everything in the Death Guard Codex is basically lethal now. Almost every gun we have and melee weapon is lethal, which makes sense. It's fucking Death Guard. Strength 7 AP 2 1 damage, and then 10 3 1. It's still sustain hits D3 is still a thing, and he still has pistol. So since he's a monster, you can shoot both. So you can shoot the pistol and the Rotwind at the same time, just because he's the monster. And then let's get down to his melee profile. So Silence, huge sight that he carries around, has a devastating wound, lethal hit. So it's lethal hit and devastating wounds. People don't like the combo, but again, you don't have to roll the damage or to wound. You basically, once you roll 6, it's like, hey, here's a fucking AP3 D6 plus 1 damage. So lethal is still really good, even though he has devastating wounds. If there's no way to reroll, which we don't really have a lot of ways to reroll in Death Guard, it's just a free wound. So lethal on anything is still really good. Like, I'll take lethal over just having a flat devastating wound any day. So devastating wound on him is still, or lethal is still really good. So strength 14, which is, you're going to wound everything on at least 3s. I think the highest toughness is toughness 13 maybe for the corn thing. And then now the great and clean ones. Still only 5 attacks. I wish he had 7. Because his sweep is 15, so you might be using the sweep a lot more than the overhead smashing. But hitting on 2s, 14, AP3, D6 plus 1. I don't know if there's really any combos that you can give him. I mean, you could give him like crit on 5s, sustain, something like that in other detachments. But mainly he's just going to walk up, one shot, mostly anything in the game. Silence on the sweep. This is the huge difference. So lethal hit, sustain 1 built in. So he gets sustain hits 1 with lethal on his 15 sweep attacks. That is just nuts. So I think before he was all 1 damage, right? But having a 2 damage, 15 attack sweep with sustain 1, strength 8, so you're going to wound most infantry on 2s. And then you could combo that with the -1 to their armor saves, right? So it's AP3 2 damage sweeps. That's insane. You're probably going to be doing this on some smaller tanks, because like the toughness 9 tanks are going to go down to toughness 8. So now you're killing transports like super easily. So you're going to win them on 4s, but you're sustain with lethal built into this. Guys, that is nuts. The biggest thing though, not biggest, like again, this whole data sheet is just nuts. He does an additional D3 mortals at the end of the movement phase, and it's not targeted units, literally everybody within 6 inches. So at the end of your movement phase, so basically you're moving up, everything within 6 inches, the enemy is gonna on a 3+, if they're inflicted on a 2+, they're gonna take D3 mortals. So you're just chipping away all these other units around you just to get to where you really want to get to. It's going to start by killing a tank. It's going to finish off a wounded tank. It's going to finish off wounded units, characters, everything. So that's going to be super beneficial, because it says at the end of your movement phase. So basically, like, even if you're in combat, at the end of your movement phase, boom, here's some mortals. So if you have like 1 guy left in combat with him and he has 2 wounds left, he then dies in the movement phase, and now you can still shoot and charge something else afterwards. So that is just a bonus for more chip damage for Mortarion. This is the first data sheet. Like, this is just insane. He's going to be in so many lists, but there's also lists that you don't need him, but like you want to bring him. It's tough because he's the same points as like a 10-man Blightlord unit, and Blightlords are now really good. So that's going to be really hard to choose. So Morty is not going to get held up by 10 Maria. So he would get launched in, or I would launch an ACDC unit into Mortarion, and he would be there for the rest of the game, because Morty couldn't fall back in charge or do anything, and he was just 1 damage sweep. So I would just take in like all of these attacks from Morty's, and now Morty's just tied up for my 200-point unit. So he can only shoot 1 now. So if you look at the main rules, if you look up monsters or something, or pistols, you can shoot both. So that would kind of be pointless if you had to choose between one of these two on a Primarch. So make sure that you read that rule. Then we got disease. So once per turn, not battle round, it's basically your turn, my turn. I get to choose one of these, and it's reactive. So I can wait to see what goes on. I can wait to see what happens. I can warn my opponent, hey, I have this, this, and this. And then they have to remember what I have available, because now they have to remember that I have a fight on death, I have a shoot back, and I have a reactive move. Like, those 3 are all good. You can even shoot back with yourself. So like, let's say they shoot Morty with something small or a normal tank. You can then shoot the tank back, you know, with your 10-3-3 or D6 plus 3 devastating wound shot. Like, that is at normal ballistic skill. So you're hitting on 2s. So that is awesome. If you have like a little heavy blight launcher right next to you, that's going to be able to shoot like 36 inches away if they shoot you. So Morty's just going to be huddled around by all these little bodyguards everywhere. So first one, if they end within 9 of somebody within 6. So how you do this is you always keep at least 1 guy of your unit. And I'll have a video on this on the Patreon, where I always kept 1 of my Plague Marines near 6 inches of Mortarion. So that way it extends it out so much further, because now if they end within 9 inches of that unit, which is super far away, you can then react to move them back, react to move them forward, react to move them behind a wall, building, whatever it may be. But that like chain, like a fucking octopus, right, is always going to be within 6 of Morty. So that way if they end within 9, which is huge, of that unit, you can then react and move them right onto the point. There's a lot of defensive ways to do the reactive move. You can reactive move 5 inches away from them, so now it's a further charge. You can reactive move onto a point with your 2 obstacle models. You can react behind a wall. Let's say you're in front of the wall. Now you're going to react and move behind the wall. Now you can't be shot. So there's a lot of different ways to react and move. Also, you can react and move to try and get a counter charge. So let's say you have 2 units near Morty. One is a little bit further away than the other. If they end within 9 inches of that unit, you can then react and move 5 inches towards the other unit. So that way, if they charge a unit, you can then counter charge on the other side. So you can use this very defensively, very slash aggressively with that just one move. So now you have the second option, which is just a fight on death. If Morty's the lone survivor and he gets charged by an entire unit, you can then just do fight on death by himself. If you know he can't get out of the way with the reactive move, like they're going to charge into Morty, they end within 9. And if you're like, all right, if I move 5 inches back, that's only a 7-inch charge. Not really worth it. I'm just going to save it so that way if you charge me, I can then just fight on death. You're going to tell your opponent, like, hey, I have a fight on death, so that they reminds them. And now it's going to like make them stressed out a little bit. So there's a lot of stuff that the fight on death on a 2+ still could fail. But on a 2+, he gets a fight on death, which I guess it would be 1 unless it says otherwise. No, so he's going to be -1 to hit, I still think. But I mean, you're probably going to do the sweeps. So sweeping, hitting on 3, sustain 1, lethal, 8, 2, 2. So pretty freaking good. And then obviously you're going to be doing that with your 10-man Plague Marines. You could be doing that with the Death Shroud. Anything that is within 6 inches of Morty is going to be able to fight on death really reliably. Like the 2-up, it's not even a 4-up, it's a 2-up, which is very rare. So what's up, John? What's your question? So that is insane. He still has grenades, which is probably the first thing I looked at his data sheet. I was like, all right, does Morty still have grenades? Because if you're not bringing Plague Marines, the only other person that has grenades is Lord of Contagion, which is also another thing I looked up first. Does Lord of Contagion still have grenades? So grenades, super key. Try to remember that because you're going to be doing so much damage output with this guy. You're going to move up 10, do a 2+ D3 mortals, throw a grenade, shoot, and then charge. Like this guy is going to do so much damage to get his points back for 380 points. So that is a good way to start off this codex with Mortarion. So that is whew. Have you guys used him yet? Are you looking forward to use him? I'm already testing him, and he is really, really good. I test him once in the Poxwalker build and once in the Flyblown Host build, and the Poxwalker build, he just didn't die. Like they didn't even want to shoot at him because I was like, all right, here's 20 more Poxes you have to chew through to get to Mortarion. How'd you feel about taking 3 drones with Blightlords and 2 Predator Destructor and 5 Strength 10? Yeah, I mean it's insane. Like him with 10 Blightlords is still really good. Him with the heavy Blightlords, I think probably one of the best combos in the game now. Lord of Virulence, making them full rerolls to hit on a target with 10 Blightlords, like it's going to be a lot. So I think the main thing is going to be like Morty, 10 Blightlords, Lord of Virulence, 2 or 3 heavy Blight launchers, and then just go to town. So second option, guys, is Typhus. So Typhus is 90 points now, so he went up by 10, so it's 10 more points. 80 points is really cheap for what they do with the Terminator models, but going up to 90 is still good. Like it's still a 90-point character that has toughness 7. All the toughness went up in the book, so all the toughness went up, all the speed went up. I know Typhus was speed 5 before, but the Terminators that were speed 4 now go to speed 5. The Plague Marines that were speed 5 stay at 5, but the Poxwalkers 4 to 5, all the other Terminators 4 to 5. That's honestly a 20% difference, huge difference for that. But toughness 7, so you're spending 10 more points to get an extra toughness. Everything else I think stays the same. His strength stays the same. 6 attacks, 12 attacks. Still only a 1 damage sweep, but it's good for like single wound infantry. And he does not have grenades, but he still has his 2+ D6 mortals on a 6 D3 plus 3. So he basically stayed the exact same. 10 more points, you get an extra toughness, which I'd pay 10 points for an extra toughness. So good thing he didn't go up 25 points like originally he was going to. So the new points update definitely helps out. Then we have the Demon Prince of Nurgle. We're going to skip over the Demon Prince of Nurgle with wings because he's terrible. But Demon Prince of Nurgle, this guy now is going to be in every single list. I think this guy alone is so hard to chew through. He's toughness 12. Like, I don't know why they gave him toughness 12, but he's toughness 12. Was toughness 11. Toughness 12. Speed 8. So still quick for Death Guard. 2 up, 4 up. 10 wounds. 3 OPSEC. Infernal Cannon. So all the Demon Princes, I think, are the same. They all have the 24-inch range. 3 shots, hitting on 2s, 5-1-2. So I think they're all the same now. Before, this guy just had a Flamer. Glad they got rid of the Flamer. Then his melee weapons, he's got 7 attacks, which might be more than before. 7 attacks, 8-2-3. So still Terminator killers. Still any 3 wound models is going to die to this guy. And then the sweep, still 1 damage, but 14 attacks, 6-1-2. And again, every time you're within contagion range, it's going to be -1 to their toughness. So this is technically like hitting anything on toughness 5, wounding them on 2s. So toughness 5, go to toughness 4, so wounding them 2s. And then the other thing down here, if they're toughness 4, you go to toughness 3, so you're wounding them 2s. So hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s, all with lethal. Again, mostly the entire codex has lethal. But the kicker, besides him being toughness 12 and a 2 up, 4 up, is he's got lone up. So he's got lone up within 3, can't be shot, great for turn 1 secondaries, great for turn 2 secondaries, great for camping a point. Like, hey, I dare you to come out and shoot him. Like, please shoot him. Please waste your guns on my toughness 12 Demon Prince, right? And then once per battle round, so the entire round, 1 model from your army, so any model, can use it when a friendly Death Guard unit within 12 inches of that model is targeted with a stratagem. Reduce the CP cost of the stratagem by 1. Why? Sure. Like, that is huge. Like, CP management is just insane in the game. So having a free CP on such a tanky model with lone up 12 inches away is nuts. So not only that, does he also buffs with an aura of cover. And it doesn't say infantry. It says infantry for the lone up, but not infantry for the cover. So while a friendly Death Guard unit, anybody, is within 6 inches of this model, each time a range attack targets a unit, models have the benefit of cover. So Mortarion, 6 inches away from this guy, is going to have cover. A tank, 6 inches away from this guy, is going to have cover. He is going to have cover. So everything around this guy just has cover. Like, all 3 of these are insane. I know he's expensive. He's 195 points. So he is expensive, but he should be in every single list, no matter what. This guy is like, when you're building a list, it's like, all right, I'm choosing it. Am I going to bring Morty? Am I going to bring Typhus? This guy, yes, every single time. Like, that's the order that you're bringing, building your list for Death Guard. This guy's good in every single detachment. He's good in the Poxwalker detachment. He's good in Fly Blownos. He's good in fucking everything. This guy is just an auto include. This guy is an S tier model in Death Guard. How do you feel about the 7-man plague? I think you're bringing 7 if you have the points, right? You're mostly just going to be bringing 5 for 95 points. But if you have extra points and you want to bring those extra 2 models, you can. You got to think about rhinos as well. So 7-man units and rhinos, you can only bring 12 guys, right? So you can have a 5-man with maybe a character, or 2 5-mans, but you can't bring 2 7-mans. You can bring, I guess, a 7 and a 5, right, if you have extra points, but you can only bring 12 guys and a rhino. And then when you get out, rhino shoots something, they get fully rolls the wound. So it's really just up to you on the points. So we got 3 drones with blight launchers and 2 predators for a total of 5, but vehicles with strength of 10, damage 3 weapons. Yeah, I mean, wounding on 5s, but mostly lethal. If you're going to toughness 11 vehicles and they're in contagion range, which you can get contagion range from pretty far away, you're wounding vehicles on 4s. Like, it's gonna be good. And then if they're toughness 10 vehicles, you're gonna wound them on 3s. So really, really good. All right, next one, Demon Prince of Wings. Everything else is the same. He's -1 toughness, speed 12 though, so really quick. Everything else is the same. He does battle shock, subtracting 1 from the test. And while an enemy unit, not including monster figures, within 6 each time model Falls back, must take a desperate save. Cool. So that's it. When you compare that to this, it's like I'm bringing the walking guy every single time. All right, let's go to Lord of Valence. He's got a bunch of different combos. Sees perfect balance well. Things should be, yes, 100%. So let's go. Speed 5, so I think that's 1 extra speed. Toughness 7, so 1 extra toughness. He is 90 points, I believe, so he went up 10 points, which is fine. Like, he does a lot more now. 2 or 4 up, 6 wounds, OBSEC 1. He's got still the same weapon, anti-infantry 2+, ignore cover, turret, twin links, so reroll the save or wounds. 12 inches. I wish he had more shots, like maybe d6 plus 2, d6 plus 1, really anything, but the d6 is so swingy. You'd be like, all right, I get, twin linked, insane character, flamer. Shit, I rolled a 1. So, but whatever. AV1, 1 damage, and then his power fist, 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, which is great. 8-2-2. So he's pretty good in combat as well. While this model is leading a unit, each time a model in the unit makes a range attack, you can reroll a wound roll. So this is why it's good in Flyblown, because you can actually shoot in combat with the pistols. So if you have him leading a Blightlord Terminator unit with like all of the combi weapons, full rerolls to wound with the devastating wounds, and the Reaper autocannon, like you might actually, if you're leading a unit with this guy, you might not even bring the flails, because like the swords now have 2 damage. So you can have a sword and a combi weapon compared to just 1 flail with 3 more attacks. So I think I'd rather have the combi weapon and the sword, which is 2 damage, rather than 1 flail that can't shoot. And if you're going to lead it with this guy, you want to benefit from shooting, especially with that strat. So I think I have to... Sucks because the flails look awesome, like they're such cool models, but now I have to break off my fucking flails and then put swords and combi weapons on my guys. So at the start of the shooting phase, so these guys come down, they move, do whatever. At the start of the shooting phase, select 1 enemy unit within 30, which is huge, and visible to this model. Until the end of that phase, so just the shooting phase, each time a friendly Death Guard model makes a range attack target unit, reroll a hit roll of 1. If it's a blast weapon, full rerolls hit. So in this unit, you're gonna have 2 blight launchers almost every single time, but it works for everybody. So if they target a unit, your Plagueburst Crawlers from downtown, your heavy blight launchers with the new model, Morty's blast weapon. So anything with blast keyword is going to be able to full rerolls to hit against that unit, and him built in is just full rerolls to hit of or rerolls to hit of 1. With that, there is a strat in Flyblown again, which gets full rerolls to hit if you're within half range. So this would be good to like target another unit that you want your heavy blight launchers to go after, and then they could do the strat on themselves to get full rerolls to hit against that unit. So you can kind of combo that with the Flyblown host, but doesn't have any grenades. I think Grey Knight Terminators have grenades. I think Death Guard Terminators should have grenades too, because they have like all blight and shit all over them, but it's whatever. Yeah, so pretty good. Led with blight. You could lead them with Death Shroud as well. Like Death Shroud, full rerolls to wound. Not bad. They already have pistols in combat, so they can shoot the pistols in combat and get full rerolls to wound in combat. But that's about it. Like that's the only reason you bring them with the Death Shroud. Lord of Pox is a new character, so this guy is just insane. Yeah, so I guess Lord of Contagion and Morty is the only 2 big guys that have grenades. I was thinking if Typhus had grenades, it would be busted. Like Typhus comes down, throws a grenade, and then does his mortal wounds. Too many mortal wounds on one model. That's why the Grey Knight Librarian doesn't have grenades, because the same thing: mortal wounds, grenade, mortal wounds. It's too much. All right, so this guy's insane. Add 3 to the range of contagion range. So them coming in from reserve, them coming in out of a transport, is just going to increase that range of your contagion to help out people in the back that can't get there. Also, I guess really just coming from reserves. Let's say it's turn 3 and it's contagion 9, right? him walking in from reserves, you can now automatically get somebody in contagion range. So you could have a 5-man with him be super defensive and come in from reserves just to get kind of one unit that is too far away. You don't have to bring an icon bearer. You can just bring this guy to just get a 12-inch contagion range. So that helps out. He's got a plasma pistol and the Great Blade, which is the same thing, right? Devastating wounds, lethal hits. We already went over that. Like, I'll take lethal hits all day. 8/2/2. So 6 attacks hitting on 2s. 8/2/2 Marine Killer. With the devastating wounds. So if you have a way to get the reroll wounds in this, which I think there's a really good, I think it's full rerolls to hit, full rerolls to wound in some of the detachments, this guy is just gonna blend a lot of shit. Like, devastating wounds, full rerolls to wound, -1 to their toughness, so they're going most vehicles on 5s, smaller vehicles on 4s, but Marines almost every single time on 2s. You're killing toughness 5 Marines on 2s with devastating wounds. But the big thing, you're going to be bringing this guy 75 points, so he's not cheap, but he's not too expensive. I think 75 points is good. 70 would be better, but 75 points, you get Loan Up. So really good for turn 1 Loan Up on models. While this model is leading unit cannot be targeted by range attacks unless the attacking model is within 18 inches. So that is just built in. With the Flyblown Host, there's a stratagem that if you're on a objective, you get Loan Up 18. It's 25 points. So you're comparing this guy to a Surgeon with the Loan Up strat, but he has to be on a point. And now I do that combo because I take 5 Plague Marines with the Surgeon and the Loan Op strat, and I scout move them 5 inches up towards the top objective, and then turn 1, I run them onto the objective. So now they're on the objective, now they're Loan Op 18, and if they do happen to get within 18 of my guys and shoot them, kill a Marine, I can then bring one back automatically and put it back onto the point, or steal the point, or whatever. So it's very, very defensive unit for 75 points. Or you just bring this guy for 75 points. He is Loan Up no matter what, hits hard in combat. But if you're going to spend that 75 points just to kind of camp an objective, I'd rather have the Surgeon, so in case something happens, he could bring a guy back. But that's only the one attachment. This guy and any other attachment is great. Loan Op 18 built in, great for turn 1 secondaries, great for turn 1 actions. So having Loan Op 18 on turn 1 and turn 2 is great. You're going to get that primary really easily, especially if you're in a Rhino and you just get out, like move the Rhino up 12, get out 3 onto the objective. Now you can do an action, or you could just camp it and they can't shoot you back. So really, really good on this model. Looks awesome. I wish he did. I mean, it makes sense. He's the Lord of Poxes. I wish he joined Poxwalkers. I think him with Poxwalkers would not be busted, but it's an additional character that can join Poxwalkers that's new to the book. He's the Lord of Poxes, right? It makes sense. But no, he's got grenades. That's good. I mean, he's with Plague Marines. Plague Marines have grenades, so it doesn't matter. So, and he has to be leading a unit. He can't be a solo with Loan Up. But massive Overwatch threat with Death Shroud 100%. With which Virion gives crit 5s. Yeah, Balish Putrefier gives crit 5s. He can join really any unit with a character. But I think there's a strat in one of the detachments that you can actually crit 5s. In my video, I did a video on the channel. You guys could check that out. We go over all the detachments. But you're basically reading the data sheets first, and then you're going to the detachments, and then you're reading the detachments to kind of see, oh shit, this would be really good with this character. Oh shit, this would be really good with that unit, you know, and you kind of combining it. What's up, broski in chat? Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Also, Death Guard look amazing. So Death Guard, I think, are really good. I think T-Sons are going to be better. Honestly, T-Sons look insane. But Death Guard, if you guys are a Death Guard player, I will be super happy with this codex. You hate getting a codex and you're like, wait, I waited all those years to play a bland army. This is not a bland army. This is a competitive, strong, tough, tanky army, which is what Death Guard is. So if you guys are Death Guard players, be happy that this is your codex. Hopefully Great Knights get something good like this does. All right, so that is that dude. He's awesome. Lord of Contagion. I love this dude. Sucks that he went up 30 points, but 30 points to get back up on a 2+. There is a chance that he does not get back up, which happens all the freaking time. But still, toughness 7, so went up a toughness, went up 1 speed, which is 20% speed increase with 1 extra toughness, 6 wounds, 2 up, 4 up, like really tanky dude. Still has the 923, so I think he went up a strength from before. What was his strength before Lord of Contagion? Yeah, so he actually went up a strength. He went up 1 strength, 2-3. So he was 8-2-3. Now he's 9-2-3. So you have 3 different buffs to him, right? Which increases his points to 30. He had 10 attacks. 6, so oh shit! So his sweep went up even better. So his sweep went up to +1 strength and +1 AP. So now his sweep is even better. Yeah. Oh, and again down here, guys, grenades. So having a Terminator model that could be solo, or with a 3-man Death Shroud unit that can come down within 6 and throw grenades is such a good fucking combo. So he gives sustain 1 and land. Like this guy, yes, I understand he went up 30 points, but if you just keep reading his data sheet, it is worth the 30-point increase. Like you're paying, it's almost like you're paying 30 points for an enhancement that he gets all of this at that time, which I think is 100% worth it. So he gives the unit sustain and land. So this guy's gonna be good with Death Shroud and Blightlords. Blightlords getting sustain hits 1 with their melee weapons and lance. So I think they're strength 5 maybe, but +1 to wound. So you're going to wound most vehicles on if they're toughness 11, they go down to toughness 10. So you're still wounding them. Hold on, I gotta check if they're strength 5 or 6. Sorry, skipping forward. They're strength 5 on the blades. Yeah, so strength 5, you're going to wound most things on 5s, most tanks, but most vehicles or most infantry, you're going to be wounding them on 2s. So hitting on 3s with sustain, wounding on 2s, 2 damage, AP 2. That's a really, really good combo. But obviously him with the Death Shroud coming down within 6, getting the charge off with lance and sustain, they're just going to murder most infantry. Hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s. So the first time the final line ability is destroyed on the battlefield, roll d6 at the end of the phase on a 2+. This model stands back up on the battlefield as close as possible to enemy with 3 wounds remaining, so he doesn't have to take a battle shock test because he gets back to half. And if you're in Flyblown Host, you can put rejuvenation enhancement on him, so that way he just heals at the end of the phase. So every phase he's going to heal fully. So in that detachment, you can run him solo, or you can run him with a 3-man Death Shroud, and he's just going to be almost insane, almost impossible to kill. Like your opponent's not going to want to touch him because they know that he's just going to get back up and then heal all the way back up, and then it happens every phase. So that's a really good combo with that. But yeah, this guy is now so worth the 110 points. You can run him solo if it's 110 point solo, but he can come down and do an action. They have to shoot him in the shooting phase to kill him, get back up, and then charge him to completely kill him. So it's at the end of the phase, so they have to kill him in 2 different phases to really take him off the table. So really, really good for secondaries. Since Feathers has been deemed the official Lord of Contagion model. Oh, this guy? Is that his name? He's a really cool model. Does it mean our Lord has the base changed since this is on a 40 mil and a Dark Imperium model is on a 50 mil? Is this guy on a 50 mil? Is a 50 mil Typhus? Because I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that. I don't know. Like I'm just gonna use my Lord of Contagion until we really know what's really going on. But this guy came in the Terminator kit, and he's on a 40 mil. So not sure if you're gonna have to increase it to like the Lord of Virulence. I mean, you probably will. Yeah, I'm not sure, Joel. Can't help you out with that one. I mean, we'll post it. We'll let everybody know, but I'm sure you'll figure it out when everybody starts increasing the base. I mean, Typhus' base is ginormous, so maybe it's on that size base. But Malignant Plaguecaster, we were running this guy in the Lord of Poxes, or the Poxwalker detachment. So he's got pretty much the same stuff. He doesn't something like minor, I think, changed with this guy. the Malignant Plaguecaster. So he has devastating wounds on a 2+. Alright, so that changed. So in the shooting phase, select an enemy within 18 inches invisible to Psyker or on a 2+. Enemy models make a melee to subtract 1 from the wound roll. Okay, so yeah, that's a huge difference. So we got rid of the -1 to wound. That was actually pretty good. Now he just gives his units sustain hits 1. So Poxwalkers, if you're running that attachment, is going to get sustain hits 1. Nothing crazy. In the shooting phase, so subtract 2 from the move characteristic of the model. It used to be move, advance, and charges. Now it's just move. So you're not going to be able to stack the 4. You can stack it though, because you're able to. It's not an aura, so auras don't stack. We found this out at the last game, but if you shoot, you can subtract the 2 twice. So -4 potentially if you bring 2 of them. He's got lethal. Everything's D3 though. Be sick if it was just flat 2 or flat 3 would be insane. I think he's 70 points now. But Plague Wind, 12 inches. There is a enhancement, I think, in the vehicle one that goes up to 24-inch range. So 24 inches away, you're going to be able to shoot this flamer to do -2 to movement. It's pretty cool. Nothing crazy though, but toughness 6, so it went up in toughness. Everything else stayed the same. Yeah, so I guess the plague bus is gone. Plaguecaster giving sustain on all the hits. So it's any attack. So you can lead Plague Marines. So Plague Marines getting sustain hits 1 if they get shot by him. Each time a model unit makes an attack that targets an afflicted unit. Enfeebled. Okay, yeah, so they just have to be in contagion range. Sustain hits 1, so pretty good. You can either rules say use the base supplied with the model. I mean, yes, no, maybe. But if all of the Sanguinary Guard, right, are still on 32 mils for Blood Angels, but all the new models are on 40 mils, they're cheating. Like, so you kind of have to update and stay with the times. So if your models did increase, then you have to increase the base size. Like it's competitive in that sense, because I think who was it? Be'lakor, right? Used to be on a little base with that little model. Now Be'lakor's on the huge 100mm base. So if you're still running the old school base that what he came with, then you're cheating. So sustain and lethal, crit on 5s, but yes. So critting and sustain hits on 5s. So this guy paired with. Good call. So this guy paired with the Ballast Putrefier, critting on 5, so sustain 1, critting on 5s. One of the detachments, I think, you get full rerolls to hit, full rerolls to wound out of a Rhino. So yeah, guys, that honestly is going to be pretty freaking good. Yeah, it looks really fucking disgusting. Gives the reroll hits and wounds of 1. Yeah, so if you're getting out and getting contagion range, 1 CP, 4 rolls to hit wound. Like that, I think that Plague Marines detachment is going to be really scary playing and going into. So yeah, it got smaller, so not sure. All right, so yeah, I can see this guy being good with that combo, but again, you're spending a lot of points on the characters. But again, he could be worth it because he's got a flamer, subtract 2 for the move, just gonna murder whatever gets out. This guy I was kind of upset about. I was using him for the -2 leadership aura with Flyblown, because Flyblown has that one strat where if you charge, or at the start of the fight phase, you have to do a battle shock test at -1. So if I had this guy within contagion range, it was -3. So this guy was almost in every single list. Now he's like, you don't really need him. You could bring him in the Poxwalker list because you can add him to another leaded Poxwalker unit. So you can have 2 Poxwalker leaders in 1 unit, and then you can give him the enhancement to come in on turn 3. So he can actually rapid turn 1 because it's as if he was coming in on turn 3, and you can rapid in your opponent's deployment zone. So that's a little combo where he can join Typhus's unit if you really want to. So you can join Typhus's unit. Typhus unit is now speed 6 because he gets +1 speed. Reroll advance and charges. So if you wrap it on turn 1 or just come in turn 1, try to get a rerollable 9-inch charge. I wouldn't do that, but he can join Typhus' unit. Typhus then can come in rapid turn 1 in the box detachment, or he can come in with just a by himself and just come in with a 20-man Poxwalker unit. In the battle shock step of your opponent's command phase, if an enemy unit is below its starting strength with a 9, which is just take 1 wound, the enemy unit must take a battle shock test, subtracting 1 from the test if it's a Psyker. So the fact that it has to be a Psyker is so bland. If it's just subtract 1 base without it being a Psyker, that would be good. But this is kind of like null and void. Like it's not going to be that much of a benefit unless he's with like Plague Marines. Because if he's with Plague Marines, he can do the -1 icon that the Plague Marines carry. So anti-psyker, he's all about anti-psychic guns and weapons. But yeah, this guy's not my favorite. Yeah, I wouldn't be relying. +1 speed with the Poxwalker is pretty cool. So your speed 6, go up to speed 7 with the Poxwalker detachment. But that's about it. This guy, he definitely got a nerf a little bit. So in the fight phase, you can select 1 model from your army with this ability. So you can't do it for 2 different units. You can only do it once per game per turn. If you do, until the end of the phase, models in this unit have the fight first ability. So it's really situational, really good, because if you have him with a 10-man Plague Marine unit, what's cool is it combos really well with his second ability. Enemy models cannot start or end an advance move with a 9. So what I'm imagining with this guy is if he's with 10 Plague Marines, and they're kind of like camping the center objective, that little L in the center, if they're camping there, and he's like kind of more towards the front in that little building where you can't really see him, and then you kind of chain off the rest of the Plague Marines. If you have Morty behind them, they have the reactive move, they can do whatever, but they can't end an advance within 9 inches, which is huge. So you're basically blocking off that center objective, right? Because they're like, oh, I need to get to the center to try and get Area Denial, or get really Area Denial, or get on the point to stop your primary. They can't advance onto the point, which is so good. Or advance and charge, right? You're playing a melee army. We're already good into melee armies. So if you have a reactive move with Morty and they can't advance and charge near you, that's so good. So enemy models cannot start or end an advance within 9 inches. So now they have a 9-inch charge for you. Yeah, that's really, really good. So this guy, I think, is a buff. Kept the same fight first, not every single time. It's you have to proc it, but he still has the 2 damage flamer. Anti-infantry 2+, ignore cover. What was this flamer last time? Foul Blight Spawn 722, same thing. Yeah, so everything stays the same, and then it doesn't matter about his close combat, and he can join models with other leaders as well. So yeah, this guy could be good with that situation. Like you could even put him in a 5-man unit if you want to specifically just put him in the center and be like, all right, nobody with a 9 can end an advance near me. So good with orcs, like really, really good with orcs. Wow. Good with orcs, good with Chaos Space Marines, good against Blood Angels, good against Space Wolves. Really any army that advances in charge reliably every turn. Good against Custodes. Holy fuck. Custodes can't get within 9 inches of this guy. Yeah. So good against almost every melee army, I would say. So yeah, this guy is definitely good. 60 points, I believe. And then this guy is just insane. So him with any detachment is going to be good. He still has the Hyper Blight Grenades, Blast, Assault, Lethal, Range 12, D6 Blast, 712, Anti-Infantry 2+, Flamer or Pistol, 3-inch range. But he gives still that's the first thing I checked. Does he still give crit on 5s instead of 6s? So yes, every weapon in the unit is now lethal. So meltas, plasmas, everything lethal, and the entire unit crits on 5s. So combining this with any other character in the book is going to be good. First, this is new. First time the model unit destroys an enemy unit that resulted in melee attack. So it's first time this model's unit, doesn't have to be him. So this model's unit destroys another unit. Add 6 to the objective control characteristic of this model. So it goes to Ob 7. What? Oh, it's so dumb. I was thinking combining this with the Plague Surgeon, so that way the Plague Surgeon can bring models back, and that one attachment where you could bring D3 models back. So it's gonna be really hard to kind of chew through that entire unit, especially with like +2 toughness and shit like that. So if you have the Plague Surgeon bringing guys back every single turn, and this guy just staying up 6/7, nobody's stealing that point from you, really, ever. So that's pretty cool. You can put him in a Rhino when they get out, shoot, crit, fully rolls a wound. Yeah, this guy's gonna be good. He has grenades, which we were all Plague Marines have grenades, but this guy still stayed good. Then we got a Tallyman. Tallyman went down 40 points. So if you have the extra 40 points, you can't bring the Nurglings anymore. So you bring the Tallyman. So Tallyman's going to be in a lot of lists just with the extra 40 points. You're looking at the points. It's like, all right, what the hell do I bring for 40 points since I can't bring Nurglings? Tallyman. So Tallyman used to be insane in every single list. Now he's only in your command phase. On a 7+, you get an extra CP. So we're going to be really good at doing secondaries, I believe, in this detachment or this army. So you're not going to be giving away the mission cards to get the extra CP a lot of times. Like, you want that extra CP in the beginning of the turn, because you're not going to be giving up a secondary to try and get that CP back. So he's going to be really good. Apothecary Bio does something similar, but I believe they got 9 OC. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, toughness 6 on Plague Marines is legit. All right, so nothing else really changed. That's really why you're bringing him. He used to give +1 to hit for the unit. Now, ignore modifiers of ballistic skill and weapon skill. So, but if you're comparing this guy to this guy, you're not. You were going to bring this guy with a unit every single time. You're not going to bring this guy with a unit. This guy mainly is going to camp your backfield and just try and get you CP every game. That's really all he's doing. And again, he's got to be on the board, so you can't have him in a transport or anything. So he's literally just going to camp your backfield. All right, Plague Surgeon. I wish this guy was good. I wish this guy. He's such a cool model, badass looking model. So much extra. Like, this is his. It's a custom model, which looks so good, but just doesn't do it for me. But again, there's some key things. Like I said, Flyblown, if you put the enhancement on him where he gets loan op with his unit, like, that could be good. Pairing him with, this guy with bringing back D3 models in the one detachment could be good. He's got a pretty good melee weapon, 4 attacks, 5/2/2. And that's it. So while this model is leading a unit in your command phase, you can return 1 destroyed bodyguard model. Cool. So 1 Plague Marine comes back if they didn't die. At the start of the fight phase, select 1 enemy unit with engage range of this model until the end of the phase. Each time a model makes an attack that targets that unit, a modified hit roll. So it says each time this model, not the unit, so this model, so he gives himself sustain hits or crit hits on 5s with lethal. So you're wounding them on 5s. Tanks could be good. And then if they're below half strength, 4s score a critical hit. Because he's a surgeon. He's cool surgeon dude. And that's it. So nothing crazy. He's like situational. You're not going to be running 3 of these guys. I think he's 50 points. Yeah, so he's 50 points. Maybe. But again, he's competing with this guy. So most of us are going to want to have this guy over this guy. But situational, not bad. Then we got the boxes. So boxes got an extra speed, which is huge, 20% speed bump. Toughness 4 still, 5 of Feel No Pain, 7 up save. So if you have him near the Daemon Prince, everything within 6 inches of Daemon Prince gets cover. So anything shooting at these guys with a AP0 weapon, AP0 weapon, they're going to get a 6 up save. So 6 up into a 5 up. So you have 2 chances to make these guys a save, right? not bad. The biggest thing, though, if you guys notice, right here, infiltrators. So every single time you're going to see probably 20 to 30 of these guys in the list. They're 60 points, so they went up 10 points. So you're getting 10-point upgrade for infiltrate. Fly blown host, you might see 60 of these guys because they're going to be able to infiltrate 9 inches away from your opponent deployment zone, and then they have a scout 9 or a scout 5. So in the detachment, they get the scout after they infiltrate. So you can either scout backwards defensively, or you can scout forward and just push your opponent in deployment zone even further. So if you're right on the edge and they deploy a little bit back, you're allowed to scout within 9 inches of the deployment zone. It just says you can't be within 9 inches of another model. So if they don't put their models on the line, you're probably going to be able to scout even further into the deployment zone. So I actually use these guys with the fly blown host list, and he didn't have his guys right in the line. So I scout moved 5 inches up, and then I moved another 5 inches to get a toe into his deployment zone and did locust. So we're actually able to do locust turn 1 with this unit scouting as an infiltrator unit. So you can put 20 of them out and infiltrate the entire board pretty easily. So you want to win the roll off. If you have 10-man units, most of the time you're going to be 10-man stopping their scout moves, or you're going to be setting them up on near point on the top or side or in the center. So you're going to kind of use them more of a defensive infiltrator on normal detachments. But if you're running the fly blown host or poxwalker detachment, you're going to put a 20-man right in their face and be like, all right, if you get called to horde turn 1, cool, good luck. If you don't, there's going to be 20 boxes in front of you, which is going to be super annoying. In Fly Blown Host, you can actually put them within 6 inches of a Malefic Blight Hauler, and they can be -1 to wound to shooting. So they have stealth. If they're within container range of you, they're -1 to hit. Again, so that stacks. And then if they are getting shot at and you can spend 1 CP, they're -1 to wound. So they're going to be wounded on probably 4s or 5s, and they have a 6-up if they're within 6 of the Daemon Prince and a 5-up Field of Pain. So super annoying. They still bring guys back, and it's not infantry model, it's any model. So each time Poxwalker model in the unit makes an attack that destroys an enemy model, not monster vehicle. So like hounds, swarms, cavalry, all that stuff. After the enemy unit has a resolved attack, return 1 destroyed Poxwalker. So they're not going to be killing a lot. I've been trying these guys for a while. They just don't kill anything. But it's a chance to kill guys. And Typhus does bring them back pretty reliably. So while Typhus is leading a unit, enemy models destroyed as a result of Typhus Eater Plague ability counts as enemy models destroyed. So his 2+ mortals adds models to his unit, so it helps with the threat range. So you can actually move up. Let's say there's some destroyed models in the unit. You can move up, shoot something from 18 inches away, kill like 1 or 2 guys, make a dude 2 inches away from your front guy. Now you basically just add an extra 3 to 4 inches of movement to that unit to get the easier charge off. So that's a really good combo with Typhus. Anytime you have a 20-man Poxwalker unit and you have Typhus, you can see your opponent. If it's a melee army, you can put Typhus in that unit. Now they're -1 to hit always, and every time you kill somebody, they just keep coming back. So that's a super annoying to deal with if you're a melee army. If you're going against a shooting army, you can just have them by themselves, and then Typhus by himself. So a couple different options with that. But yeah, really huge thing with the fucking infiltrators on Poxwalkers. So next we have the Icon Bearer. I think everything stays the same with him. He basically adds 12 inches to the contagion range once per battle at the start of any phase. So situational, but you can bring this guy in from reserves. Like I used to do this back when you can stack like -1 ballistic skill and then -1 to hit. This guy was really good at that. Now it's only -1 to hit, so you can't stack anymore. So this guy a little bit went down in the needing category. But within 12 contagion range. Oh wait, did they change it? So once per battle at the start of any phase, you can select 1 friendly Death Guard unit that is battle shocked within 12 of this model. Okay, so that's a little bit different. Yeah, so he's completely different now. So now he's not even as good as I thought he was. Add 1 of the objective control from, again, every leader is competing against each other. This guy is not going to add any benefit more than this guy. I would bring a Plague Surgeon over that other guy. I mean, OPSEC 3 on Plague Marines is cool. You can combine this guy with the Plague Surgeon. So you can just be a super high OC unit But yeah, I'd probably rather have the Plague Surgeon than this guy. Making another unit unbattle shocked is cute, but you're not really relying on it. Yeah, so this guy is probably not going to see this guy that often. Plague Marines. Plague Marines are insane. Everything stayed the same. So Plague Marines still able to bring 2 of like every unit or every weapon. So let's go down to the weapons. We have Plague Champion can still bring a plasma gun, and he gets a Power Fist now instead of a heavy weapon. So the Power Fist is better because it hits on 3s and it's lethal. So everything in melee is lethal. So hitting on 3s with lethal, 822. The heavy weapons hit on 4s, 822. So it buffed the Plague Champion more because now he could still bring a plasma and he could bring a Plague Fist. Power Fist, sorry. 822. Hitting on 3s though. Now every 5 models in the unit, 1 Plague Marine bolt gun can replace with a Blight Launcher. So every 10 man you get 2 Blight Launchers, 2 Plague Spewers, 2 Plasma Guns, 2 Melta Guns, 2 Plague Belchers. So the Plague Belchers I think are just the strength 4/1 Plague Belcher. Anti-infantry 4+. Yeah, so you can be 2 Plague Spewers, anti-infantry 2+, and then 2 Plague Belchers, anti-infantry 4+. So you could have just a ton of flamers if you want. So you can have 4 flamers in this unit with a plasma gun. But most of the time, I'm probably going to be kitting my Plague Marines with 2 Blight Launchers, 2 Plague Spewers, 2 Melta Guns if they're in Rhinos, or if they're shooting from afar, 2 Plasma Guns. And then for every 5 miles, 2 Plague Marines can have their bullet guns or bubonic weapons, which most times can be just the heavy weapons. Still bringing 4 heavy weapons. So you have 4 heavy weapons. So 4 heavy weapons, 2 of the Blight Launchers, the character or the Plasma Leader. So then you have, 7? You have 3 left. So then you could bring 2 Melta, and then you have 1 left. So you can bring a Plague Spewer. You can bring a bubonic weapon if you have like more melee. Yeah, but it's almost guaranteed going to be the Blight Launchers, maybe 2 Plague Spewers instead of like the heavy weapons or the plasma. And then the heavy weapons. Heavy weapons are just there when they get close. You just murder them. That would be my thing every single time. But here's the difference. They did add this. I forgot this. So 1 Plague Marine equipped with a bolt gun can get rid of the bolt gun for an Icon of Despair. So this model's bolt gun cannot be replaced. So 1 Plague Marine equipped with a bolt gun can be equipped with 1 Icon of Despair. I gotcha. So 1 has to have a bolt gun. Can't replace the bolt gun. Yeah, so that's probably going to be your last thing, because you always want that -1 leadership aura. Always. So you're always going to have 1 bolt gun, which we actually have a lot of random bolt gun Plague Marines, like just chilling. Like this guy. So he's got the bolt gun, some cool grenades. Like the models are sick. So like this guy could be the we never used them. Like we always got rid of the bolt guns, but now we need a bolt gun with the icon. So, and they got an extra toughness. So toughness 6 Marines, 2 wounds, 2 obsec. Gets -1 leadership if they're within 6 inches of that specific model. So you have to actually model the icon. And then I guess 1 Plague Marine. Yeah, so you can't give it to the champion. All right, so then infused with Blessing of Nurgle. In your shooting phase, each time a unit is selected to shoot after this unit has shot, select 1 enemy unit hit by 1 or more of those attacks until the end of your next turn. That enemy unit is afflicted. So you're going to shoot something pretty far, right? You can shoot it 18, 24, I think 36, no, 24 for the Blight Launchers. Yeah, so 24 inches would be the max. So you're shooting something 24 inches away. Now that unit is going to be afflicted with whatever contagion you had. So it's going to be the -1 to hit, or like from 24 inches away, they're going to be the -1 toughness. It's going to combine with your other guns in your army. So you're going to be able to shoot something. Now all your tanks or whatever is going to be able to shoot at that thing that is -1 toughness. So that's going to help out a ton. So 5-man Plague Marines just getting out, shooting something just to put contagion range on everything. is going to be pretty good. You can combine that with, instead of the -1 hit, you can combine that with an AP one. So now if you're shooting in a tank, that now tank is -1 to their save. So if they have a 3-up save, they have a 4-up base save. So anything AP1, like it's going to be good. Like this is probably one of the best battle line detachments or battle line units in the game, easily, hands down. Yeah, really good Plague Marines. Blightlord Terminators. So these guys changed a ton. Speed 5, so 1 extra speed, 1 extra toughness 7, so the Terminator toughness for Custodes. 2-up, 4-up. Oh wait, are Terminator Custodes 8? Or are they 7? I think our Wardens are 7? No, Wardens are 6. Okay, so they're Terminator toughness custodians. Basically, I saw this guy posted a picture. It was a blighted custody Terminator, because it's basically the same toughness now. So it looked really cool. 2-up, 4-up, 3 wounds, leadership 6, 1 obsec, deep strike. Then we got this is weird. So it's not as good as like other people's buffs, but while this unit is a starting strength of 5, so if you kill 1 Blightlord without leading a unit, you kind of take away their ability, which kind of sucks. But while this starting strength of 5 or more, or a character is leading the unit, each time the model unit makes a range attack, targets a afflicted unit, improve the strength and AP of the attack by 1. So combi bolters are going to be good with this unit. Strength 5, AP 1 combi bolters with full rerolls to wound with a Lord of Contagion. That seems like a really good combo. The Reaper autocannon. Oh, and you're obviously gonna shoot Plague Marines right at a unit, make that unit afflicted, and then these guys can shoot pretty far away and then shoot at that afflicted unit at +1 strength, +1 AP with full rerolls to wound. Blight launcher, blast, lethal, D3 blast, 612, so 712. Combi bolters, rapid fire 2. So combi bolters could be good, or combi weapons. So you could do dev on infantry on a 4+, or get 4 shots at 511. That, and they're lethal. Sure. That's going to be something we have to test. Are we going to go for more of the devs because we have full rerolls to wound with a Lord of Contagion, or are we just going to do a lot of chip damage at 511? Because they're going to be afflicted, right? So they're going to be toughness -1. So you're going to wound vehicles of 10 goes down to 9, so you can wound them on 5s, or the infantry, you're going to be wounding them most of the time on 3s. So a lot of infantry you're going to wound on 3s. But if you're shooting infantry, you get devs on 4s. So who the fuck knows? We got to test it. Plague Spewer, anti-infantry 2+, still pretty good. So strength 6, 2, 1. Oh shit. Yeah. 6, 2, 1 flamers. Wow. And then the Reaper autocannons, devastating wounds, stain hits 1, 8 shots, because you're probably going to bring like 10 man. So, I mean, 4 shots, stain hits 1, 8 to 1. Damn. No way to increase the blitzing skill. Oh, maybe that's why. So combis are hitting on 4s, so that's going to be a little bit tougher. So maybe we're going to try the combi bolters hitting on 3s. So here's the big difference. The blades, 2 damage. So once we saw that, it's like, fuck, these guys just escalated so much. They went up 70 points though. For a 10-man unit, 70 points. These guys went up. I mean, is that worth 70? What is that per guy? So 7, that's 7 points per guy. So going up 330, or were they 310? They were so cheap right now. 10-man Blight launcher or plague, whatever. So 155. So they were 310. Now they're 370. 60 points. So they went up 60 points. 370 points. So 6 points per model. They got an extra wound, they got an extra toughness, an extra damage, and extra strength and AP. I mean, that honestly is a pretty good upgrade. So 6 points per guy for extra strength and AP on all their guns, and then extra damage with an extra toughness. I think that's a pretty good bump. Shoot with the Plague Marines and make afflicted, then shoot with the Predator. So I mean, at that point, it's like, all right, you're shooting with the Plague Marines, that's 95 points. Then you're shooting with a Predator, that's 140 points. So you're up to like 230 points to then just blow it up with something else. So it's a lot of points that you're shooting into one unit. If it's a big Death Star unit, like you're shooting, let's say, Terminators from T-Stuns or something. So if you're shooting them, yes, you're probably going to put a lot of units into that one 10-man Death Star unit. But if you're shooting like another tank, like you're going to have to shoot Plague Marines, then a Predator, then something else. So you're going to kind of like, it's not going to be everything into one, but it is definitely good combos to do, right? So you want to trade points. So I'm not going to line up like, hey, I can shoot 95 points, then I can shoot my Predator, then I can shoot my Blightlords. Like, you're shooting 500 points into one fucking unit. It better be a 10-man or a 5-man Warden unit, right? To murder them off the table. Which then, again, Predator with 3 damage might just do it by himself. So, yeah, but 2 to 9 units. Yeah, already planning on bringing 10 of these guys. So, really good in Fly Blown Host. They have Scout Move 5. They have Stealth. They can get -1 to wound if they're within 6 inches of a Plagueburst Hauler. They can have Assault with the Lord of Virulence. And their weapons can turn into pistols in combat. The Blade Launchers can't, which sucks because they're Blast. But everything else that they have. So all 8 of their other guns are going to be able to get pistols, full rerolls to hit because they're within 12 inches, +1 strength, +1 AP, and full rerolls to wound. So this unit is insane in Fly Blown Host. So then we have the Death Shroud Terminators. These guys, just huge change. First thing, extra wound. I didn't notice that right away. They went from 3 wounds to 4 wounds. Now the difference between 3 and 4 is not that huge, because if you're shooting at these guys with 2 damage weapons, it's still going to take 2 to kill them. So it took 2 to kill them before with 3 wounds. Now it's going to take 2 to kill them with 4 wounds. The biggest thing is 3 damage weapons. So anything with D3 weapons or D3 damage or just 3 damage now takes 2 shots to kill these guys compared to just 1 murdering them. They did lose the -1 to wound aura, which I don't know why they took that away. They gave character models leading the unit a 4 Feel No Pain. So it's going to be really hard for them to snipe out of characters, which is really, it's a definition of a bodyguard, right? So silent bodyguard. While a character is in the unit, Feel No Pain of a 4+. So let's say you have a Lord of Contagion with this unit. The Lord of Contagion is most of the time never going to be sniped out. He's got a 2-up, 4-up, toughness 7, gets back up on a 2+, and he has a 4 Feel No Pain. So the Lord of Contagion is almost guaranteed never to die first with that unit. They're just going to kind of have to kill the whole unit to get to Lord of Contagion. Then their melee profile stayed the same, except their sweeps went up 1 extra weapon skill. I don't know why. I don't know why they increased that by 1. I'm trying to look at their old one. MSU melee weapons. Yeah, they hit on 2s before. Yeah, that fucking sucks. They got 2 extra attacks. So they went from 6 attacks to 8 attacks, except they lost a weapon skill. They lost the strength, but they gained an AP. Yeah, so this one stays the same. This one, they gained 2, lost 1, gained 1. Most of the time, you're going to be doing the overhead attacks anyway. Hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s most of the time. Lethal, sustain, and lance with the Lord of Contagion. The biggest thing that they gained was each time this unit is set up on the battlefield using the Deep Strike ability, it can be set up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 6 inches away from an afflicted unit. So most of the time, you can afflict multiple units, right, at the same time, and then they can come down right in the center, as long as they're 6 inches away, and now they can still charge. So you're going to have a 6-inch charge with a Death Shroud unit coming in from reserves is going to be kind of nuts. A 6-man unit of these guys with the Lord of Contagion is so hard to chew through. I was playing Blood Angels, and I got charged by Dante's unit and 2 or 3 other Sanguinary Guard, and I had 2 with the Lord of Contagion left. 2 or 3 left. So they only killed 3 or 4 of the Death Shroud with a full fucking Date unit, full real hit, and like +1. It was insane. So only killed 4 of these guys. I did spend the 1 CP because they can now have a icon just like the Plague Marines, so -1 to leadership tests. So if you have any Battle Shock shenanigans, you're going to be able to make them -1 to leadership and Battle Shock. So it's leadership characteristic. So that's even better because a lot of stuff like Chaos Cult, for example, their Dark Packs, they have to do a leadership test. So now their leadership on everything is -1, not just Battle Shock test, it's just leadership. So anything within 6 inches of that model is that. So who can have it? 1 Death Shroud champion. So the champion has the icon. It's even better because your champion's gonna be like the last one to die. So make sure that you're playing with the icon on the champion, and you know where he is at all times, because you have him on the end, he's probably gonna have to die and take people out of coherency. So make sure you keep him like right next to the Lord of Contagion, so that way they're always together on the table, moving and charging up and stuff like that. So played Death Guard since 8. I think this is the only time I really have it away. I mean, you've been playing 1 detachment for almost a year, over a year, and then you had a Grotmist detachment, which was fun, but they didn't have the contagions like they do now. So I can understand the frustration of like waiting so freaking long, but now that you waited so long, it's definitely worth the wait. Yeah, definitely thematical, 100%, and strong and tanky, and it's super awesome. So I'm glad these guys are now super tanky. They're still 140 points. Like, they're not as expensive as when they first released, but having 6 of them, they did increase the points. So they went from 110 to 140, so 30-point increase, and then it went from 220 to 300, so 300 points for a 6-man unit of these guys. It's a lot, but they're tanky and they kill anything they touch, and they're speed 6, or sorry, 6-inch charge, 1 extra speed as well, 1 extra toughness, 4 wounds. There's 1 detachment that you can bring uppy downy. So Lord of Contagion, come down, kill whatever's on the point, go back in reserves at the end of the turn, and then come back down and then do it again. So they were able to get that 6-inch charge twice against your opponent. That's gonna be that is nuts. All right, now we're getting into the tanks of the detachment. So we got the Hellbrute, not my favorite. Yeah, just not the best. I have to see him in that 1 tank detachment. Might be pretty cool. But maybe if we might try 3 of them, maybe, right? All melee, just come in, just getting some crazy melee going. 2 up save, 8 wounds, toughness 9, 3 obsec, which is good. Deadly minus 1. Each time the model makes attack, the target afflicted unit add 1 to the wound roll. So hitting on 3s, wounding him most of the time on 2s. So that's really good. So imagine a Hellbrute hammer just coming in, hitting on 3s. 4 attacks, wounding on 2s. I mean, you're probably going to get the Power Fist 5 attacks because you're strength 12. So even if you're going against a Land Raider, you're going to wound it on 2s because it's going to be toughness 11. And then AP 2, 3 damage. Also, if this model is equipped with 2 melee weapons, add 2 to the attacks. So you're going to get 7 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s. Not bad. So you're going to kill most Terminators, right? 7 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s, AP 2, 3 damage. So that's why I'm thinking like maybe 3 of these guys could be just insane, but I think they're pretty expensive. What are the points for the Hellbrutes? The new points. Hellbrutes are 115, so not too bad. But now they're going to compete against Plague Marine units, against Blightlord Terminators 3. You can bring 3 Blightlord Terminators now. And then 30, I guess 25 extra points. You're bringing Death Shroud. But again, the vehicle detachment might be good. Fight on Death on 2+ with Morty. You can bring guns with them, but if you're going to go with that strat, +1 to wound. Okay, so it works with shooting as well. Each time it makes an attack, the target's an inflicted model. So you can get your Meltas to wound on 4s sometimes. Last Cannons to wound on 2s, but only 1 shot. Twin linked. Bolters for infantry killing, twin autocannon, lethal hits on the twin autocannon. Blast cannon has freaking lethal hits, multi-melt has lethal hits. So wounding on 5s, 4s with the multi-meltas, I'd probably rather just bring a Mothic Blight Hauler for 90 points, because they get +1 hit, +1 wound against vehicles. Yeah, so honestly, dude, if I'm bringing Helperts, I'm bringing freaking melee weapons. I'm just going 2 melee weapons. Screw the guns. Bring a Mythic Blight Hauler for the guns. Yeah, that's. And I think with the fist, you still get the flamers, right? Yeah, each Helbert fist Smiles equipped with, you can equip with one of the following. So you can still bring combi bolters, right? Or flamers. So 2 heavy flame. Yeah, fuck that. I'm bringing heavy flamers. So 2 heavy flamers, ignore cover. 5, 1, 2. A +1 to wound, right? Holy shit. So 2 flamers, 2 fists, and just go to town. Because again, you don't really need that 14 strength. It is 1 extra AP, so it could be good with bigger shit because it's 6 attacks. So you either bring 1 flamer, 1 fist, 1 hammer, or just 2 fists, because you can only swing with 1 of them, but you get an extra flamer. So, nah, hammer, fist, flamer all day. There you go. That's what we're doing. Yeah, that seems pretty good. I gotta try these guys. We gotta get 3 of these guys on the table. Spawn are same as Chaos Cult attacks. 5, 1, 2. Hitting on 4s, d6 +2, a lot of attacks. So you have 2 guys, 2d6 +4 attacks. Hitting on 4s, no lethal or sustain, nothing crazy like that. They have a scout 6 though, so not in any detachment like the fly blown host. They can scout 6, get into range of stuff. Feel no pain 5+. Their toughness 7, which is huge. That toughness 7 on a speed 8 model with 4 wounds, 4 up save, 5 feel no pain. They're very hard to kill. They're 80 points, so they're not cheap. This is the thing though. This is what I was like confused with, because I thought it was like a free grenade. Each time a melee attack is allocated to the model in this unit, which means they have to wound you. So every time they wound you, right before you make your save, or after you make your save, any wound that went through, and if they're still alive, they take potentially mortals back. I thought it was every time the attack was allocated, meaning like, all right, I'm going to do 6 attacks into you. No, every time an attack is allocated, it means they attacked and wounded you to that unit. So attacking unit is finished making its attacks. Roll 1d6 to a maximum of 6 per attacking unit. So if you have 2 units going into you can do it multiple times. On a 4+, the attacking unit suffers 1 more wound. Yeah, I don't know if that works if they're dead. If they're dead, I don't think it works anymore. But still, let's say they wounded you 6 times somehow, but you roll 6 dice back, and on a 4+, they take a mortal wound. So it's like 3 more wounds back to your opponent. You can throw these guys at a tank, right? Do some damage on the charge, and then if they do their 6 attacks or 4 attacks into you and they wound you, luckily, you can then potentially do some extra mortal wounds to a tank or character, right? Yeah, it's a really good strats. But again, they're OPSEC 1, which was great. So leadership 7, but OPSEC 1, they're actually able to do actions. So they can scout move 6, get containment, get area denial, get cleanse, get engage, get locust, get teleport. Like they can do a lot of shit for you turn 1. So they're really, really good at turn 1 secondaries. Then we have the Blight Haulers. Blight Haulers are still cheap. They're 90 points. Yeah, so 90 points. They only went up, I believe, 5 points since the last update. 10 wounds, T9, speed 10, so super fast for Death Guard. 3 up, 5 up, 3 OPSEC. So little guys, little buggers just running around doing actions and tying up units. So in your shooting phase, each time this model in the unit makes an attack that targets a monster or vehicle, which is really all they're going after. Add 1 to the hit roll and add 1 to the wound roll. That is ginormous. It used to be just add 1 to the wound. So the multi-meltas, 2 shots with lethal already built in, hitting on 2s, wounding on 4s most of the time. So 2s and 4s, AP4, D6 +2 damage. Yeah, and then the crack missile, 1 shot, hitting on 2s, wounding on 4s most of the time. AP2, D6 damage. And then the bottle spurt, lethal hits. No melee weapons, like nothing really crazy, just 4 attacks, 6-1-1. But that's a really, really good aura for 90 points. You can print these. There's actually a printed model that looks exactly the same. You can print these guys. You can't even tell the difference. So yeah, it's It's actually a cheap model. I think it's like 30 or 40 bucks for one of these guys, but you really only need 1 to 3 of them, unless you want to bring 3 units of 2. Yeah, it used to be in 3-man units. Now it's only 2-man units. But you could bring a lot of these guys, but again, they are cheap for what they do. Combat Patrol magazine with the Hellbrute is coming in 2 weeks to the UK. Don't know. Just release 2 magazines at $9 to get a Hellbrute. You get a Hellbrute with a fucking $10 magazine? What? Dude, no way. I gotta ask. Can you get a Hellbrute with a magazine? Because if you can, you should literally just order all of them and sell them. Is it a Death Guard magazine? Do you get... Can you look into the Games Workshop magazine, and if they are giving away a Hellbrute model? Death Guard. So we'll find that out. We'll order a bunch, and then we'll get I'll fucking order 50. Who cares? I'll give it all the Patreons. All right, cool. So that's that guy. No grenades, no nothing crazy. He does have smoke, so that does help out. So in your fly blown host, all your infantry have stealth built in, and then he can also have stealth for 1 CP. Yeah, the combat patrol. Only the issue 7 and 10 in the US. Buy single ones from the Forbidden Planet. All right, so Bloat Drones, big difference for these guys. You could bring 6 of these dudes now instead of just bringing the melee or gun guy. You could bring 3 of these dudes and 3 of these dudes. So if you got 6 of them, you could start bringing all of them. The Flesh Mower is still kind of the same, but you're probably going to be bringing Heavy Blight Launcher and then the Plague Spitters. So a lot of guns. Anti-infantry 2+, 2d6. So it's 2d6, 611. Ignore cover, anti-infantry 2+. All the same, so speed 10, toughness 9, 10 wounds. So everything is the same. 3 up, 5 up, 3 OPSEC. 3 OPSEC on a speed 10 model is awesome. And this model is still eligible to shoot and declare charge and turn it fell back. So the Flesh Mower, I think it's different. Did the Flesh Mower change, or is the Flesh Mower the same? The Flesh Mower range melee 10, 7, 1, 2. Yeah, so the Flesh Mower is exactly the same. 10 attacks, hitting on 3s, probably wounding on 3s most of the time, unless it's really toughness 4 infantry, and then wounding on 3s. 3s or 2s. AP 1 though, it's like not really the best. I'd rather just get some Overwatch shenanigans and flamers going. Plus they can fall back and shoot. So being able to fall back 10 inches, fly, and shoot your flamer, killing some other models is going to be great. So they can fall back 10 over like the unit that charged them, shoot something, and then charge something else super far away. So the Plague Spitters are still really, really good over the Flesh Mowers. And then the Heavy Blade Launcher. So this thing is insane. Probably one of the best guns in our whole codex. 36-inch range. So again, this guy's standing next to Morty. If he doesn't get one-shotted, he's going to be able to shoot back. 36-inch range, D6 plus 2 shots, blast. Hitting on 3s, strength 10, wounding on most of the infantry on 2s. AP2, 3 damage. So Termi killers, definitely. Custodian killers. In the shooting phase, each time this model makes an attack that destroys enemy units, before removing the last model of that unit, roll a d6. Okay, so you have to kind of like know where the models are getting destroyed from, because if they just kind of like take the whole unit off, you have to know which one was last. So your opponent can kind of cheat it a little bit, where they remove the ones closest to their enemy units first, and then the last guy. So you have to make sure you're telling your opponent which guy is it going on first, because of this rule. 37, 38 makes a Hellbrute. All the Havocs. All my Havocs. Havocs are so bad. I wish Havocs grew, but Havocs are so bad. So when they remove their last model, again, make sure that you know which the last model is. And Adding 1 to the result if it's an afflicted unit. And on a 4+, each enemy unit within 6 inches of the model is afflicted until the start of your next turn. So you kill something in the middle of a whole bunch of guys. Now everything within that is either -1 to hit, -1 AP, and then -1 toughness. So just an extra ability on top of his already busted gun. So that seems really good. But yeah, the fucking D6 +2, so minimum 3 shots. So 3 to 8 shots with blast. So it's going to be like, if you're shooting a 5-man unit, minimum 4 to 9 plus shots. That's insane. Yeah, that's really good. They're 100 points, so they are a little bit more expensive. But having 2 to 3 of these guys in every list is probably going to be strong. Plagueburst Crawler, I didn't look at this guy right away, but he wasn't my favorite last edition. Not sure if he's going to be my favorite this edition. Speed 10, so quick, tanky vehicle. Still only toughness 10. Wish he was toughness 11. 2 up, save, good. 5 up, invuln. 12 wounds, which is good. 6 leadership, 3 OPSEC. Was he 4 OPSEC before? Yeah, he was 4 OPSEC, so he lost an OPSEC. Didn't gain anything else. That sucks. So he lost 1 OC. He used to be OC 4. What does he give? So spore-laced shockwaves. In your shooting phase, each time you select a target of this model's Plagueburst mortar, roll a d6. Roll d6 target unit and every enemy unit within 3 inches of the target unit. Okay, that's pretty good. Adding 1 to the unit if the unit is below starting strength. Oh, is afflicted, sorry. On a 6, so on a 5, the unit being rolled for is struck with spores after resolving all the model's attacks against target enemy unit. Each unit struck by spores suffers D3 mortals. Okay, so on a 5+, you do D3 mortals to models around it. Okay, so do the models around it have to be afflicted? So Plagueburst mortals, for every model, adding 1 to the roll. Sorry, if the unit being rolled is afflicted. Yeah, so the models around it have to be afflicted. So you combine that with this guy. All right, so a lot of 5+, 4+ to make them afflicted, or you target with a couple different detachments. You can just target an objective. That objective, now everything is afflicted. You can look at them with like the Lord of Virulence. You can shoot them with Plague Marines. There's a lot of different combos you can do with the Plagueburst mortars. They're still indirect. Yeah, so hitting on 4 is indirect. D6 +3 blast. 8, 1, 2. So nothing really crazy change. I mean, that's like cool, extra mortal wounds to models around it. And if you have multiple of them, it happens multiple times. Yeah, so imagine like having like an enemy Primarch within 3 inches of the model that you're shooting. Every time the Primarch is afflicted, like let's say you run a spawn up, right? Scout 6, advance, just get something within contagion range, and then you're shooting at indirect the one model outside, whatever, and then on a 4+ or 5+ for 3 times, you could potentially do 3d3 mortal wounds to that model or Primarch behind a wall. Just weird combos you can try with Death Guard and just getting shit to be super annoying from behind your opponent's deployment zone. Yeah, not bad. But he is expensive though. I think the Plagueburst Crawlers are still 190 or something. Yeah, 195. So they're fucking expensive. I'm gonna bring a Daemon Prince over this guy all day. But if you have the tank detachment, he could be doing something. You can pick, I think, 2 units outside 12 inches of your army that's automatically contained. So that's going to be a good combo. Him shooting back within 6 inches of Morty, so you can shoot indirectly, I believe, right? in the shooting phase. So a couple different combos there, but still really expensive. Loss and obsec. He still has the entropy cannons, so you can either do the flamer ones or the entropy. So the entropy is 2 shots hitting on 3s, 10, 3, d6 plus 1. So that'd be good if they're shooting at you. It's 36-inch range. I think it was 24 before. Yeah, so actually gained 12 inches. So that is huge. Entropy cannons gained 12 inches of range. So almost always you're going to have the entropy cannons. Just shooting back, you have entropy cannons, lethal hit still. Yep, so entropy cannons, 36-inch range. That is awesome. So they're going to be able to shoot back. So it's probably not going to be one-shot, potentially having 12 wounds, toughness 10, 2-up save. So if they shoot at your Plagueburst Crawler and you're within 6 inches or more, you can then shoot back 36-inch range. Really good. And you can still do this in that shooting phase. No, it's your shooting phase. Fuck, never mind. Can't do that. So yeah, not bad. What's up, broski? Predators, this one okay, this one insane. All right, so this one is 11 wounds, toughness 10, 3-up save, obsec 3, speed 10. Everything is lethal, so I think we're the only gun in the game to have a... No, it's the other one. So they're not lethal on the last cannons, but they're twin linked, 1 shot, and then the other last cannons are also not lethal. So this one is okay. Special thing is in shooting phase, after this model is shot, select 1 monster vehicle unit hit by 1 or more of these attacks. Roll d6, adding 1 to the result. On a 4+, the unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. So additional mortal wounds on top of that. It says in shooting phase, after this model is shot, select 1 enemy unit. Yeah, so only 1 chance. It's not per gun. But still, you shoot something. If it happens to not die on a 4+, you potentially could then kill it afterwards. I think it is the same price as the other one. Or it might be 5 points cheaper. So the Chaos Predator, 130. So it's 10 points cheaper than the Annihilator or the Destructor. So I mean, again, it can shoot back. I'm just comparing it every time with Morty because Morty can then just within 6 inches he can shoot back at something. 3 last cannon shots, 1 of them being twin linked, strength 14, strength 12 on the other one, hitting on 3 still. Has the does it have heavy bolters? No, so last cannons are heavy bolters. Heavy bolters are lethal and sustain combi weapon. Yeah, so probably bringing it for the last cannons and just have the opportunity on a 4+ to do more. And it has to be afflicted as well, so can't combine it like turn 1. Chaos Predator Destructor. So this guy is getting the ability as the sister tanks for the +1 AP on whatever else shoots at that target. And this is what I was saying. So the Predator, strength 10 on the gun. The Chaos Space Marines are strength 9. So we have an extra strength for some reason on our Predator autocannon. Still rapid fire too, so you're getting 6 shots within 24 inches. Lethal hits. So Chaos Space Marine has to do a Dark Pact to get lethal hits. We have it built in. And we're 1 extra strength. So if we're shooting at anything strength 10, it's probably going to be toughness, or toughness 10. It's going to be toughness 9 because within contagion range. So you're going to wound them on 3s. Holy shit. AP 1 though, so 3 damage. But infantry, it lost that. So the infantry used to be, if it's infantry, it's +1 AP. Now, whatever you shoot, everything that shoots at that target gets +1 AP, excluding monsters and vehicles. So this is the not monster vehicle tank. The other one is. After this model shot, select 1 enemy unit. So you can do this. Let's say you're shooting at a unit, right? Shooting at a unit. Your 1 random Havoc launcher could just shoot something else that you really want to kill. Because you're going to kill whatever you're shooting now. Like let's say you're killing some Terminators with the big guns. Shooting at your Terminators. You can then just shoot smaller guns like the combi weapon and the Havoc launcher at that target over there. That you have everything else lined up into it. So now that target over there is going to get the +1 AP because you can target a unit that was hit by 1 or more attacks. So in shooting phase, after this model has shot, select 1 enemy unit hit by 1 or more of those attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time a friendly Death Guard unit makes a range attack, improve the arm penalty characteristic of the attack by 1. The same enemy unit can only be affected by this ability once per phase, so you can't keep stacking it. But if you have multiple Predators, I think you can do it, right? Yeah. yeah, the same unit can't be affected. So if you have multiple predators, you can basically shoot at 2 different units, and now 2 different units are extra AP going into it. If you have the AP detachment aura, now it's everything shooted that unit's AP2 if they're in contagion range. And then if you have the Blightlord Terminators, you're going to get AP4 bolters. What? Fuck, is it AP4? Alright guys, we're going to go back. We're going to go to Blightlord Terminators. Blightlord Terminators, fuck, Blight Launchers. The autocannons AP1. Plague Spears AP1. Alright, so let's go with the Combi Bolters. Combi Bolters are AP0. If they're in contagion range, they're AP1. If they're in contagion range with this, they're AP2. If they're shot at with a predator, they're AP3. Which most of the time you don't need anything more than AP3 anyway. But AP3, Strength 5, lethal, and probably reroll hits, bolters. Seems pretty good. Yeah, so a predator tank alone could be good, because then you could like shoot something like infantry and then shoot something smaller and put that AP on it, and then your fucking Blight Lords could just aim over there and just blow them up. The Blight Launchers, right? Anything that you're shooting, like these guys, even still, like these guys coming down a 6-man unit, the predator shoots one time, they're now AP1 flamers, right? Full rerolls to wound if you have the Lord of Virulence, but these guys full rerolls to wound with all the AP going out. Like anything they shoot is gonna be fucking AP2 with the predator. That's nuts. And it works for everything. So the Bloat Drones AP2 on the flamers. These guys AP3 on the flamers, strength 10. Fuck, nuts. This thing, yeah, the predator is going to be insane. 140 points, I think. So it's 140, 145, 145 points for this thing. But it gives you so much versatility. Combat Patrol issue 37, 38 are already up on Forbidden Planet. Pre-order though, right? I bet you order 3 of each, they will cancel some. Yeah, get those hell roots. I believe it's at the Combat Patrol magazine. And again, it's every week or every month, whatever you get the model in the mail. It's not Game Store. I'd have to ask about that, because I want to get some Hellbrutes. I mean, I think I have 2 Hellbrutes already. We can just Nurglize them, but we have to test it first, honestly. All right, so yeah, this thing is awesome. So that's the combo you're doing with this thing. Is like, you're probably not going to shoot one target with everything. You might like, if it's like a 10-man Death Star, you're lining everything up into that unit. You're going to shoot the predator first, and then I think it has to be afflicted though, right? No, right? You don't. It doesn't have to be inflicted. Till the end of phase, each time friendly Death Guard unit in range of the targets and improve the armor penetrated by 1. Yeah, so just free AP. You don't even have to be afflicted. So you're just gonna be able to shoot something pretty far and just make it +1 AP. So you're gonna have bolters on this one, probably, because they're lethal and sustain. So you can bring the last cannon, but probably gonna bring the bolters. So it's 6 shots. Sustain, lethal, strength 5, AP1, 2 damage. You're not going to add any of the AP to this guy until you have a second one. If you have 2 predators, the second predator is +1 AP, but all these are only AP, so they're not as good at killing infantry as it was before, but still, AP1, if you're combining with the contagion, with the extra AP, it's going to be good. So yeah. Really good model. Defiler, I haven't even looked at the Defiler yet, but we got 3 more. Oh, and then we'll get into the demons. Wow, this is gonna be a long video. Sorry guys. This is already fuck, we've been talking about 1 hour and 30. Alright, let's fly by this. Defiler. 8, speed 8, toughness 11, 14 wounds, 3 at 5 out. 5 OC, huge, like the Land Raider. Speed 8 though, really such a big model for how slow he is. Each time this unit attacks, makes a normal, advance, or fallback move, it can move through friendly monster and vehicle models. So you still can't move through enemy monster vehicle models, but you can move through terrain features 4 inches less in height. Your shooting phase after this model has shot, select one enemy not hit by model. Cannot have benefit of cover. Leave any indirect. Twinling, sustain. Yeah, so no indirect. So he's got to be able to shoot something, get rid of cover. Plagueburst Crawler can shoot AP1, make it AP2 if it's in contagion range. So you're gonna have to spend Defiler 165 points to get rid of cover. Could be worth it, could not be. They're just so big. Like every time I play one, it just gets in the way so many times. But everything, no lethal. That sucks. No lethal in melee. Defiler Claws, 5 attacks, strength 16, AP 3, T6 plus 1. 3 extra attacks, 12, 1, 2. So that is a huge Defiler Claw right there. Can you get rid of the Defiler Claw? No, can't really. Can't get rid of the Defiler Claw. So it always has the Defiler Claw. You can get the Defiler Scourge instead of the Heavy Flamer, but nah. So it's okay. It's got smoke. Gotta test them. Lane Raider, basic. It's got the assault ramp. So speed 10. So your Plague Marines holds 12 models, 14 models, nice, and 7 Terminator models. So you can bring the Lord of Contagion with 6 Death Shroud, but then you're losing the 6-inch charge anyway. So you could probably bring, fuck, I don't know, I guess 5 Blightlords and the Lord of Virulence. Yeah, or 10 Plague Marines with 2 characters. Or just a whole bunch of characters in the party bus in the Chaos Land Raider. OPSEC 5 though, 16 wounds, 2 up save, toughness 12, all the same weapons, lethal on the heavy bolters, no lethal on there, and that's about it. So holding 14 is cool, but hitting on 3 is not cool. No Tech Marine in this detachment or this army. Chaos Rhino, speed 12, one of the best rhinos in the game. In your shooting phase, after this model has shot, select one enemy unit hit by one or more of those attacks. So again, same thing, you can target multiple units, but you're probably just going to put everything into one. Until the end of the phase, each time a friendly model disembarks from the transport, makes an attack that targets the enemy unit, you can reroll the wound roll. So you're going to move up 12, get out 3, your whole 10-man Plague Marine unit. You're going to shoot at it randomly with the Rhino, and then everything that shoots that unit with the Plague Marine unit fully rolls the wound. So you're going to be critting on 5s, probably with the Lord of the grenade dude. You're going to be critting on 5s to hit. You have a strat in the one attachment, get fully rolls to hit and fully rolls to wound. But if you don't, you just fully rolls to wound with that. That's going to murder a lot of stuff. You can bring this with 2 5-mans just so you're kind of like using cheap MSU. So you basically move them up, get 5 guys out. Flamers are going to be able to anti-infantry 2+ for full rolls to wound. Blight launcher, right? Everything is just going to be way harder at killing stuff with this. It has all the same stuff. So everything stays the same, but adding this in addition to it is awesome. OPSEC 2, 12 Death Guard models. Also, it can transport capacity of 12 Death Guard infantry. Doesn't exclude Poxwalkers. Make sure you remember that. So if you have 10 Poxwalkers, you can get into a Rhino and get out of the Rhino. You can't really do anything. I mean, I guess you can. You can bring 10 Poxwalkers with a character in it. 2 characters, kind of. Only one can really lead a Poxwalker in it. And then you get full rolls to wound against it. So your little flamer on that Malignant Plaguecaster, you get full rolls to wound if the Rhino shoots at it. So Death Guard infantry. Spawn still can't get in, but Poxwalkers can. All right. I always look at the fortifications in every book, and none of them are really good. The only one that I've ever used was the crown from Chaos Space Marines, and it's good in the vehicle detachment. Like I still use it in that detachment, but this one just sucks. I'm not going to spend 100 and what is it, 110 points? It's called Miasmic something. Where are you, Miasmic? 105 points. This thing is 105 to block out 12. It doesn't have infiltrate. If it had infiltrate, yeah, maybe. But enemy models set up on the battlefield as reinforcements cannot be set up within 12 inches of the model. So if you have the one deployment where you're going diagonal, you can put it in that top left corner to just block out 12 inches from the top corner and the objective, so they can't deep strike on the objective, so you can be a little bit more defensive. You can put it in your deployment zone, kind of like on your objective, so that way it blocks out the entire 12 inches. OPSEC 0, so you have to keep something still on your objective, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. So you can put it as far forward as possible if you want, like on that one deployment with the 9 inches from the center. You could do stepping stone and put that in, but again, it's going to be shot and it's going to die if you don't put it behind the buildings. So it's not what it could be, is what I'm saying. It's got a flamer, strength 3, cool, and that's it. So we're gonna skip this. Rodicus is in the book, so all the demons are in the book, but you can only bring the demons in the one detachment. The one detachment is actually really good. So we're actually we should try the one detachment. Can't do it smaller because I have to put together Rodicus. I need more water. All right. So Rodicus, you can combine this. So one enemy unit is within 6 inches of this model, subtract 2 from the move characteristic and subtract 1 from the objective control. So you can combine that. There's no minimum. So you can actually subtract down to 0. What you could also do is if you bring the contagion, -1 OBSEC, -1 leadership, move, oh shit, move, leadership, objective control by 1. So let's say the leadership or OBSEC 2. You then reduce it to OBSEC 1, and then Rodicus reduces it to OBSEC 0, because no minimum on a Rodicus's objective. So this rule can only worsen the model's objective control characteristic to minimum 1. So how the fuck does that work? Do you reduce it to minimum 1 and then use Rodicus objective control? Somebody let me know. Can you combine that with Rodicus to do OBSEC 0 on 2 OBSEC models? Because you can combine it. Oh no, it's an aura. Fuck. Can't combine 2 different auras. Or no, can you? Can you combine 2 different auras? You just can't combine 2 auras of the same name. God, what? So many rules. But knowing these rules are key. So, -1 leadership, objective control, and move. So if you combine -1 move, Rodicus's -2 move, and then the Plagueburst Caster, Prolific Plaguecaster, to -2 more. So it's -5 movement. Oh god, it's so good. At the start of the fight phase, you can select one enemy unit with 24 inches and visible to this model. Each time model of the Plague Legion, add 1 of the damage. So he's going to be sweeping a damage 2 or damage 4 on his big hits, both lethal. Hitting on 2, strength 10, so he actually increased strength. This guy used to be strength 9, 8 or 9. Or something, and I used to just throw rhinos at him, like, hey, take my rhino because you can't do anything to him. Now he's toughness 10, and when you combine with the -1 toughness or from the Death Guard, he's going to be killing a lot of shit. Yeah, correct in you can combine it because it's 2 different auras of different names, right? And then you can just add all the other shit. So that we're definitely gonna have to test. That's fucking awesome. I'm excited to test that. So we're actually probably gonna do -1 OC, -1 leadership, because there's gonna be a lot of Battleshock tests, -1 movement. So everything's gonna be fucking super slow on the other side. And Nurglings, god, Nurglings are gonna be able to come down, be super annoying, -1 to hit, -1 move. Oh, dude, that's gonna be so good. I don't know if we're gonna kill anything, but it's gonna be pretty fun. 22 wounds, 4 up save, 5 up invuln, or 4 up invuln. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Okay, so the ores with the same name, you can't combine it, but 2 different ores, you can combine them because that makes sense. And then you just stack all the other shots. So you're gonna get -5 movement if you get the Plagueburst or Malignant Plaguecaster to shoot something. God, I think I have a list. Yeah, because you have one in the list. You have, I think I have one that does the 12-inch +1 to leadership test for demons. Damn, that's so good. Yeah, we're trying that. Great and Kleemann. They're both 250 points, so they're pretty cheap. Like the Death Guard Daemon Prince is 195 points. So for an extra, what, 55 points, you could bring a Great and Kleemann and Rodicus. The list I have is Rodicus and Great and Kleemann in it. We might just try 1, we might try 2, but you get 1,000 points of demons. So he's got the Plague Flail, and I wanted to try the Bell. Just kind of bring in more, because you're going to get +1 leadership with the enhancement. You're going to get to bring guys back if you pass a battle shock test within 12 inches of the Plaguecaster. And then you're going to get this thing where if he kills a model, select 1 friendly Plaguebear unit within 12. That's so far. Within 12 inches of the bear, return 1 destroyed Plaguebear to the... Is it only 1? Each time a model is destroyed... Oh, shit. So you're just bringing a shit ton back. Oh, no, it might just be 1. Wait. Each time a model is destroyed by this weapon, you can select 1 friendly Plaguebear unit within 12 inches of the bear and return 1 destroyed Plaguebear model to that unit. Yeah, each time a model is destroyed. So you kill 5 models, bring 5 back. That's awesome. That's so good. Extra attacks, lethal hits. So he can be equipped with... What's it called? The Doomsday Bell. Doomsday Bell. So this model is Bile Sword, so you get rid of like the heavy hitting one. And the Plague Flail. So you can get rid of the flail in place of 1 Bile Blade. So you can get extra attacks, lethal hits, 3 attacks, 622. Or you keep the range attack. Yeah, I would definitely keep the range attack. D6 +1, hitting on 3s, 722. Or 3 attacks, hitting on 2s, 622. I like just having an extra shot in combat, so I think we'll keep the flail and then get the Doomsday Bell. So 6 attacks, 712, so only killing really Marines, but you're gonna be just super... Oh god, it's not the best. But add 1 of the toughness characteristics, so T6 Plague Bears all over the place. Field Plane 6+. End of your movement phase, select 1 enemy unit within 12 inches of this model, start the movement phase. Subtract 1 from the toughness, so that stacks. So -2 toughness. Damn. And it's just -2 toughness, so anything that shoots it or hurts it, it's... Wow, that's a good combo. Yep, so you're probably going to want a Great Unclean One as well. So Rodicus and Great Unclean One in the same detachment. 20 wounds, Rodicus has 22 wounds. But he's toughness 13, and then he's toughness 13 as well. If they're within 6 inches. I don't know if you're going to be able to put him within 6, but maybe. Oh, and dude, okay, so there's the detachment that you can deep strike. I think it's outside 6 inches, but wholly within 12 of the model. So on the Daemon Prince, toughness 12, lone op, all that shit, I have the enhancement, so that way you can deep strike demons wholly within 12 and outside 6. So the Daemon Prince turn 1 just runs up, right? Then in your turn 2, you can deep strike 2 of these guys down outside 6 to just shoot and do all that stuff, because this is in the at the end of your movement phase. So they basically come down. Wait, is it the end of the movement phase and then reserves, or is it reserves and then the end of the movement phase? Whatever, we'll figure that out. Comes down, and then this guy started the fight phase, right? And this is just any time they're within 6 of this guy. So he can basically come down within 6 and then charge onto objectives at their OBSEC 5. The Plague Bearers could also come down, right? You could probably fit a 10-man unit of Plague Bearers down, and then they could charge out. You could fit Nurglings down. They could charge out. So you could probably... I have to take a picture of how many fucking models you could fit within this 12-inch aura of the Daemon Prince. But that is going to be insane to just steal objectives and just control the center 2 objectives and your home objective for most of the game. Guys, that is insane. So that's gonna be fun. Here, deal with 2 fucking big, grand, and clean ones at toughness 13, 20 wounds with a 6-up feel no pain. Oh, they both have feel no pains. Nice. So they both have 6-up feel no pains as well. And I think they can heal. So if they take a battle shock test, they can heal D3 with that 1 enhancement in the 1 attachment. All right, Plague Bears. Toughness 5, go up to toughness 6. They can bring guys back with the 1 enhancement, but not in general. They have sticky, so there's your sticky in this detachment. 6 leadership, +1 if you're in the detachment, so leadership 5, and add 1 of the charge roll. So you need a 5-inch charge. Oh god, this is so fun. Yeah, I want to run this attachment. Can I get this for tomorrow? Probably not, but we're definitely going to run this on stream. All right, so OBSEC 2, 2 wounds, lethal, 2 attacks, 4/1/1. They combine it with the contagion if they're within 7, I think, of Death Guard units, so they now get the contagion range. So they're at -1, so they're wounding infantry on 3s with lethal and AP1. So yeah, it's pretty god, dude. Combining the OBSEC with the Blightlord, with the Death Guard OBSEC, you're just not going to get objectives unless you kill the demon, right? Rodicus. All right, so Plague Drones, you're probably going to want 1 of these units, probably 1 3-man, just to kind of have some shooting and some reroll wounds. It lasts for the whole phase, or the whole turn. So in your shooting phase, after this unit has shot, select 1 enemy unit hit by 1 or more attacks. They hit on 4, so you have to try and hit something. So it's 3d3 shots, blast. So you have to try and hit something at least once. Until the end of the turn, each time a friendly Plague Legion unit, so just the demons, makes an attack that targets unit, you can reroll the wound roll. So it's the whole until the end of the turn. So they shoot them in the shooting phase, and then everything that shoots them is reroll wounds, and then if they charge, full rerolls the wound. So you're gonna get a lot of reroll wounds with your demons with these guys. So they're expensive. I think they're 130 points. Plague Bears 110, Plague Drones 130 points for, I mean, they're toughness 8, right? Toughness 9 within Grand and Clean one, and they're 5 wounds. So that's like a really, really good stat line. Toughness 9 with 5 wounds. OBSEC 2, speed 10. So they're gonna be really tanky, really hard to chew through. Their leadership 6 with the icon, and then they get +1 to charge. So speed 10, +1 to charge. You're gonna start them on the table. They don't have assault or anything. They have pretty good. They have foul maggots, mouth parts, foul mouth parts, extra attacks, lethal hits. So 5/1/2, and the plague swords are the same as the plague bears. So yeah, I can't run this list because I have to put these guys together. But still, really good stat line, and really good ability in this attachment. Then we have the Beast Nurgle, Scout 6, awesome. They heal at the end of the phase, still really good. Toughness 9, toughness 10 within the one dude, 7 wounds, healing at the end of the phase, still 5 invul and save. OBSEC 3 though, I think the other OBSEC were 1 or 2, sorry. So OBSEC 3 is a definitely big change. But yeah, the Scout 6, really good for turn 1 actions and secondaries, and just super annoying to chew through. Toughness 10 within the grid and Kleemann is going to be nuts. And then the Nurglings. So the one detachment, you can bring 6 Nurglings. You can't bring 9 because that would be busted. So you bring 6, and they have a 5-up invuln save. So they got an additional invuln save. So they had 6 up, now they have a 5-up. Their toughness 3 go to toughness 4, and then their 4 wounds, same, speed 5. Leadership 8 though, and OPSEC 0. So still OPSEC 0, but they have lethal hits, 4 attacks, everything else is the same. And in the engager range, this changed for everybody, but in the engager range, excluding Titanic, so it works against vehicles now, it's -1 to hit. So it works against everything, and it's not a 6-inch aura anymore, it's just within range of it. So this doesn't stack with the Plague Marine ones or the Death Guard. But if they have +1 to hit, you -2 to hit, it's still -1 to hit. So it does stack in that sense, but you can only go +1 and -1 to hit. And that's it. So the combo with this is the one detachment, you can make a battle shock test and bring D3 battle line units back within 12 of that one guy. And there's a strat for 1 CP that you can bring these guys back to life. So once the last Nurgling dies, you can spend a stratagem for 1 CP to bring them back into reserves, and then you can basically deep strike down within 12 and outside 6 of your Daemon Prince, and then you can get a 6-inch charge again. So then they can just be, they can die, like move up, charge, die, come back into reserves, come out 6, charge, and just be super annoying. Also, there's a strat where if they're in combat, you can spend 1 CP and shoot at whatever they're in combat with, and then however many wounds that unit took for one on a 5+, your Nurglings take a mortal wound. So it's a really good trade-off, because now you can tie up a whole unit and still shoot that unit if they're in combat. So that is the Codex. That is all of the data sheets, all of the detachments in the other video. So make sure you check that video out. I'll post it in the description below. But guys, what do you think about this Codex? There's a lot of combos to still test. It's very expensive. It is an elite army now. You're gonna have to test out to see what works, what combos very well. There's a lot of combos that I'm sure I missed, but we went over a lot of different combats so you guys can, or combos that you guys can try those out. Let me know what your favorite detachments are. Let me know what your favorite units are. Let me know which ones you're never going to use ever again. And if you guys are Patreon members, we're going to do a lot of stuff specifically on patreon.com. We started doing TTS games for our Grandmasters, usually 1 to 2 days a week. So if you guys are Grandmasters, you have an option to play some TTS. And if you guys are Patreon members, we post those TTS games specifically on patreon.com. So we have a Death Guard game up there already right now. And there's some extra key things you only get on patreon.com. You get all the videos that we post ahead of time free on there for Patreons before it hits YouTube. And if you guys want coaching as well, you can join the Patreon Dirtbag Nation and get some coaching for specific armies you guys play. We're really testing the Death Guard this year. We want to bring it to almost every GT once it comes out, and we're going to be playing a lot of Death Guard in 2025. So guys, I really appreciate it. Thanks for sticking with the stream. It was a really long stream, 2 hours of just streaming Death Guard. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it helped you get some rules, updates, and ideas. But guys, I really appreciate it. Thanks. We'll play Death Guard tomorrow live at the game store, and we'll see you in another video soon.